Welcome to Lesson 9. This is where your Python stops looking like a script and starts looking like a real code base. Single files hit a wall around 200 lines, and after that you need structure, modules, packages, clean imports, and a project layout that scales. We're going to unpack how import actually works, what parts in it.py is really doing, the modern SRC layout, and the .name docs equals a main doc idiom that lets one file be both a library and a runnable command. So here's the map for the next 12 slides. 4 skills that take your code from script to shippable. First, the 4 flavors of import and which one you should actually reach for. Second, the real distinction between a module and a package, a single file versus a folder with init.py. Third, the modern SRC layout that every serious Python repo has converged on since 2023. And fourth, the one-line name idiom that makes a file both importable and runnable. Let's start with skill 1, the 4 shapes an import can take. Plain import JSON is the safest. Every call stays prefixed, so the origin is obvious. From pathlib import path pulls in just what you need when prefixing would be noise. Import numpy as NPI is for aliasing. Reach for it when there's a community convention or a name clash. And then there's, from utils import, the anti-pattern. It dumps unknown names into your namespace, hides where things came from, and it's the kind of line a senior will flag in review every single time. Now, vocabulary check, and this one trips up more juniors than it should. A module is just a single .py file. A package is a folder containing an init.py, which is what makes Python treat that folder as one importable unit. So utils.py on its own? Module. A my package directory with an our init.py and a few files inside? Package. Subpackages are just nested folders following the same rule. Small distinction, but tooling, distribution, and your import paths all hinge on it. Once you've got packages, the next question is where to put them. And the modern answer is SRCU. Your package lives inside a SRC directory, tests sit beside it, and pyproject.toml handles your build config and metadata, replacing the old setup py. Why bother? Because a flat layout lets Python silently import your package from the working directory, masking install bugs. The SRC layout forces you to install your package properly, so what you test is what your users actually get. Every PyPA template ships this shape now. It's the senior default. With the layout settled, let's talk about 2 idioms every serious Python file uses. First, init. Py is your package's storefront. You re-export the names you want public, pin a version a, and declare all a so callers can write a clean from my package import user instead of digging through submodules. Second, the if.name main guard lets the same file behave as a library when imported and a script when run directly. Master these 2 and your modules stop being scripts and start being software. Now let's put it all together with a real refactor. Taking that messy 200-line script and reshaping it into a proper package in 4 moves. Step 1. Scaffold the layout with a SRC directory and an empty /c init.py. Step 2. Split the code by responsibility. Models, parsing, CLI, each file doing one thing well. Step 3. Promote the public API in init.py so callers don't need to know your internal layout. And step 4, pip install -e for an editable install, and suddenly, from userlib import user works from anywhere on your machine. Same logic, completely different shape. Now here are the 6 reflexes that separate senior Python from script kid Python. Never use star imports. They pollute your namespace and hide where names actually come from. Inside packages, use relative imports like from .utils import .exe. So renames don't break you. Start with a SRC layout from day 1, write a pyproject.toml instead of setup.py, Guard every script with if name aris main. So it's both importable and runnable, and define cons all car to declare your real public API, 6 small habits, massive compounding returns. And here's your one-page cheat sheet. 12 patterns that cover 90% of your daily module and package work. Top row, 3 flavors of import, plain, named, and aliased. Middle rows, the core mental model. A module is a file, a package is a folder with an init.py, and all is how you declare what's actually public. Bottom row, the modern packaging stack, SRC layout, pyproject.toml, and pip install, to develop in place. Screenshot this one. It's the whole lesson on a single slide. Now, 5 mistakes that will absolutely wreck your Python project, and every one of them costs hours of debugging. First, from X import, it pulls in every public name and hides where things came from. Always be explicit. Second, circular imports. Module A imports B imports A. That's a sign your architecture needs work. Third, hacking sys.path manually. If you're doing that, your project isn't really a package. Fix it with a SRC layout and editable install. Fourth, mutating another module's globals from the outside. Modules should be read only after import. And fifth, running Python module PI from inside a package. It breaks relative imports. Use Python mpackage.module instead. That's the senior move. Time to put it into your hands. 3 exercises, and when you finish them, the advanced section is done. First, build a real 3-module package, userlib with models and utils, exposed cleanly through rock-init.py using relative imports. Second, add the dual-use idiom, that if name main block so the same file works as a script and an import. Third, build a full SRC layout from scratch with pyproject.toml and an editable install. Do these and you're writing packages, not scripts. And that's lesson 9 in the books. You now know import patterns, modules, and packages, the SRC layout, and the dual-use name idiom, the 4 pillars that turn scripts into real Python codebases. The advanced tag is done. Next stop, lesson 10, where we cross into professional territory with pytest, fixtures, mocking, and coverage. Because tested code is shippable code. And that's the bar professionals work to. See you there.